I think some entrepreneurs are actually really outstanding. For example, take the founder of Amazon. Amazon has managed to become one of the largest companies in the world, and he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs out there. Of course, that's because of his unique charm and approach. He puts the consumer at the center. He says that we often chase after too much change, but what we tend to overlook is, what is it that doesn't change? That's the value of customer loyalty. For us Chinese entrepreneurs, there's a popular saying that goes, the wool comes from the pig's back, and the dog pays the bill. We really believe in business models. In China, our past economic growth has been very model driven, and we really buy into this idea that the wool comes from the pig's back and the dog pays the bill. People really believe in these kinds of logic because they put a lot of faith in marketing and advertising, but very few people actually believe in technological advancement. Progress in fundamental science rarely has much impact. As for management science, I often invest in chain businesses. The essence of the industry is not about, say, pursuing Michelin stars or making the best tasting food. It's actually a management science. It's an industry that relies heavily on management. Just think about it. McDonald's serves 60 million customers every day with locations in dozens of countries around the world. The internal management of this company, right? It has hundreds of thousands of employees. So, if there weren't a systematic management approach, how could they possibly run the business well? Can you rely on people alone? No, you can't. You have to rely on market-driven management. You have to rely on digitalization. This is the advancement of management science. Only then can true globalization happen. Only then can you cross racial, linguistic, and cultural boundaries to become a modern multinational company. There aren't that many new Chinese multinational companies. Why is that? In China, we have a unified, massive domestic market. Because it's so big, being number one in China could also mean being number one in the world. But being number one in China doesn't make you a global brand. Since we haven't gone global yet, Chinese companies are now expanding overseas. The challenges we'll face in the future are significant, but I also see that in the next stage, the value of Chinese companies' reputations will increase, specifically, the global presence of Chinese enterprises. Truly global Chinese companies, right? The companies that are recognized worldwide. Well, if you mention Matai, that's Matai for Chinese people. There aren't many truly global Chinese companies, maybe just Huawei. Huawei is still operating overseas, but it's facing a lot of obstacles now. Another example would be Lenovo. So, China doesn't really have that many global companies. Our path to going global is full of thorns. But I believe that in the next 20 or 30 years, as the economy slows down with our turnaround, our deepening reforms, and our efforts to expand overseas in the current environment, China will definitely see the emergence of globally recognized brands and entrepreneurs, or even world-class entrepreneurs. Objectively speaking, there aren't many world-class entrepreneurs from China right now, but I think this is something we can look forward to in the future. For example, the US has a lot, like Elon Musk, Amazon, or in Japan, Masayoshi Son. How did these entrepreneurs, who have earned global recognition, achieve that? They did it through globalized companies, globalized products, a global perspective, world-class management standards, management philosophies, and core values that drive them to earn their place as global enterprises.